The movie starts where we see a boy named Edward crying in front of everyone. Here a girl named Becca is calling out his name, telling him not to do this. After this, we are shown a scene from some time earlier. Here we see the girl Becca with her father. Her dad was actually a police officer, and both of them were returning to their old house. On the way, she finds out that many people in the town have turned into vampires. When she reaches her home, Becca sees that her dad has decorated her room just like a small child's room. After this, her father introduces her to her childhood friends. One of the boys is named Jacob. Actually, Jacob liked Becca since childhood, but Becca didn't like him much because Jacob behaved exactly like a dog. Yes, he literally acted like a dog. Next, Becca goes to college where all the students start ragging her. They throw eggs at her because she was a new student. But Becca ignores everyone and walks inside. Inside, too, a boy punches her. After that, a boy starts flirting with Becca and even invites her to the upcoming prom night, but his female friend pulls him away, asking him to stay away from Becca. Then Becca sees Edward for the first time. She asks the girl about Edward, and the girl says all the girls in college like him, but he doesn't even talk to anyone. When Becca enters the classroom, the professor asks her to sit next to Edward. As she sits, Edward wears a jacket over his face because she smells like eggs. But after some time, both of them become friends. Later, some vampires kill a girl by sucking her blood. When Becca comes outside, a car is about to hit her, but Edward saves her. When Becca returns home, Jacob proposes her with flowers and balloons, but she rejects him. Jacob liked her genuinely, so he tells her to stay away because he knew Becca could be in danger. Later, Becca's father tells her that someone has been killing people near the river, so he has to go investigate and will return after a few days. He gives Becca a paper and food. At night, Edward comes to meet Becca because he had started liking her, but he leaves. When Becca also leaves the house, she finds him nearby and realizes he had come to meet her. Next day, they both go into the forest. Edward removes his shirt and stands in sunlight to show that he is a vampire. He explains that vampires like drinking human blood, but he has controlled his hunger and is not like other vampires. Becca tells him that she likes him. They both agree to go together to prom night. That same night, Edward comes to Becca's house again. They spend a lot of time together. On the other side, Jacob's father and their friends are hunting a vampire who had killed an innocent person. Edward brings Becca to meet his family. His family members were also vampires who were learning to control their hunger. When they arrive, Edward's sister gives Becca a gift. While opening it, Becca cuts her finger and blood starts dripping. Seeing the blood, the vampire family cannot control themselves and move forward to drink her blood. Edward quickly saves Becca and takes her outside. After this, Edward explains to her that they cannot stay together because one day his family might lose control and kill her, and he doesn't want that. So he breaks off the relationship. But then some vampires arrive and attack Becca, injuring her badly. Edward again saves her and removes the vampire venom from her body, preventing her from turning into a vampire. After this, Becca goes home crying, remembering Edward. Next week, she rides her bike recklessly, wanting to commit suicide because she was missing Edward badly. She crashes her bike, gets injured, and her blood starts flowing. Jacob arrives and takes care of her. He brings her home and cleans the blood. But suddenly, a vampire tries to attack Jacob. Jacob transforms into his werewolf form and saves her with the help of his friends. Jacob picks Becca up and takes her home safely. Meanwhile, Edward is crying, missing Becca. Edward's sister suddenly sees a vision that Becca is trying to commit suicide and might already be dead. Hearing this, Edward calls Becca's father, and her father says she has gone somewhere personal. Edward becomes even more upset, thinking Becca is dead. Edward also decides to kill himself and leaves. After Edward leaves, his sister realizes that Becca is actually alive, but she doesn't know where Edward went. His sister goes to Becca and tells her everything. Becca rushes to the college prom, where Edward is standing in sunlight, about to expose himself and die. This is the same scene we saw at the beginning of the movie, Edward about to die in sunlight in front of everyone. But at the last moment, Becca arrives and stops him from doing it. Seeing her alive, Edward becomes very happy. They both promise never to leave each other again. In the prom hall, some vampires attack Edward. A fight breaks out. Both are captured by the vampire leaders, who say that if Edward and Becca want to stay together, then Becca must also become a vampire. They ask Edward to bite Becca and turn her. Edward refuses, but they threaten to kill Becca if he doesn't. To save her life, Edward finally bites Becca, turning her into a vampire so they can be together forever. And with this, the movie ends.